welcome to another episode of Fan Therapy episode 72. Coming back at you guys with another episode, another football episode. Today we have a whole week of free agency to recap for you guys. It was a big week. Free agency tampering period opened up, and boy, did teams put it to use. Here to talk about it, I have high school tennis captain, Eagles super fan. He is 2-0 in NFC championships. He is a Pac-12 truther. There's few and far between of those right now. 6-team playoff enthusiast. Fan therapy cap, salary cap maestro. He is the capologist, if you will. Our fan therapy college football analyst, Tyler. How are we doing today, bro?
Doing good. Didn't get a lot of work done Tuesday because of free agency, but made up it today. But ready to talk about it.
Man, I appreciate that effort greatly, and it will not that work will not go to vain today. I promise you that. Getting over to our next panelist, he too is Captain Connecticut versus Rhode Island game regular, track and field state champion, junior year, less than 50 wide receivers caught the amount of passes he did. Princeton University football captain, 11 yards a catch in college, 12 yards a catch in the NFL. With the 138th pick, the Browns made the wise decision to pick him. He is our NFL analyst. He has graced the Jags and the Cardinals with his football presence. He is also the greatest coder in the nation by fan therapy standards. Seth, how are we doing today? Big week.
I'm doing great. It's an exciting week in the football world, and excited to chat about it with you guys.
No, absolutely appreciate you both being here. I mean, there is only one place and one place only to get this one started. Free agency kicked off, we thought, with the trade of probably the offseason. Everybody was eyeing where Max Crosby would make his move. Everybody knew Max Crosby was heading into this offseason with an injury. I guess the Ravens had their ears plugged until he got into their building. The trade was done. 2 first-rounders was sent the Raiders' way. They thought they have shed a bunch of salary cap and had 2 first-round picks to work with this year. The Ravens, Max Crosby kind of gets there. He posts a lovely picture from his hotel room of the Baltimore Ravens stadium while he is there. Yes, they get to poking and prodding around in that knee. I guess they didn't see the reports beforehand, but they get their guys. They get their guys on it. Got to get your own guys to look at the car before you get it. Same thing with the NFL player. They take a look and they decide, yeah, I don't think this is going to work for us. There's some things we don't like. We are well within our rights, thankfully, to send him back to the Raiders. Along with this, they say they had dreams of pairing Trey Hendrickson with Mad Max. So they do go ahead and make that signing, to which this kind of net result is the Raiders are left restructuring contracts while the Ravens are left with they get their picks back and they get Trey Hendrickson on their team. Initial thoughts, Tyler, when you read the news, what were you thinking here?
I instantly thought the Ravens front office were like, uh-oh, we regret this, and they knew that there's an easy way out, and it's saying they failed the physical. But like you said, everybody knew Max had an injury. Yeah. Everyone knew it was there. If they didn't like the long-term outlook of it, I guess so. But it real shady when the best pass rusher is still available as a free agent, and you somehow have a deal with him 5 minutes after that you rescind your trade. So,
no, absolutely. And I think the first. Oh, were you about to say something else there?
I was saying, and then you find out that the next highest offer was a first and second round pick, and you overpaid for him.
That's what I was about to say. The first thing we said, we knew the first would be there, but we were talking. We said that second first was a little iffy, but it was there. They took the offer, and maybe. Seth, what are your thoughts on Eric DeCosta maybe looking at this saying, hey, we can be the first buyers if we put this first round pick in there. We have Trey. We may get Trey, may not get Trey. We're well within our rights to bring this player in, take a closer look at him. What are your thoughts on this situation? And do you think maybe the Ravens were a little sneaky with how they acted here?
Yeah, there's so many analogies that could be in play here. I'll try to tread lightly, but when I first heard the news, it's just I think my first reaction is it's a good reminder that nothing is official. Nothing can be legally official until 4 p.m. on Wednesday this year, March 11th, right? Like, the first analogy I'll use maybe to describe this situation is when you buy a house. I know that you guys maybe not have done this yet.
That escrow.
I bought a house in my life. When you buy a house, you put it under contract, right? The house is under contract. Typically, though, that house remains under contract for 30 days before it actually becomes your house. That house is yours when it's under contract, pending certain things, pending a house inspection, pending things going well at closing when the lawyers are present. In this case, Max Crosby was under contract, right? But nothing was official yet. The keys hadn't been handed over. The picks hadn't been handed over yet. It was just in good faith. This is what we're going to do once the new league's year starts at 4 p.m. on Wednesday, March 11th. The house inspector came in and decided, hey, there's cracks in the foundation. If the foundation was intact, we would have happily paid the asking price for this house, but now we're getting cold feet. And this is where maybe the second analogy comes in, is the fact that there's also this Trey Hendrickson situation that is a little bit interesting. It's kind of like being on Love Island and you're dating multiple girls at the same time, and you decide in kind of a shady manner, or however you want to describe it, that I'm going to do business with this girl as opposed to this girl, and I'm not going to, be able to win in both situations. I'm going to look bad to somebody. And I think to bring it back to reality for a second, I think that Eric DeCosta is truly trying to do right by the organization and by the owner of the Baltimore Ravens. I think it's really simple to understand that if you can pay a free agent pass rusher. Now, Trey Hendrickson and Max Crosby are not in the same echelon, I would say, but they're close. Yeah. But if you can pay a free agent pass rusher and keep 2 first-round draft picks, I mean, you could have known this months ago that that's the better option, right? I don't know what transpired behind closed doors. The Ravens are trying to say that they were pursuing both of them. That seems like probably not a true statement, considering you have to pay Lamar Jackson very soon again. Why would you have 2 premium pass rushers? A place like Chicago probably would have made more sense to pay 2 premier pass rushers when you still have Caleb Williams on a rookie contract. It seems to me like they were getting ready to date one girl and then realized that there was a slightly better option and just kind of said, hey, I got 2 options. I'm going to go with the best option. Sorry to this other person. Because I do think in the world of physicals, and free agency physicals, which I've been a part of, like, if you want the player, you can pass the player. This is truly like, hey, we understand Max at his best is a good player. We need to make sure going into the future, he's going to be able to continue to be at his best. If there's something really wrong, you can say, hey, like, we can't in good faith give up this compensation and sign you because we think it's too much of a risk. But if you really want the player, there's no hard and fast rules on these physicals. At the end of the day, it's the doctor, medical staff, organization making a call on whether to pass or fail a person for a physical. In this case, we heard a lot of news on Monday. Nothing on Monday was official. Nothing on Tuesday was official. Nothing on Wednesday was official until 4 p.m. And it's just a good reminder that, people go back on their word. So crazy situation.
Yeah.
But it's not out of the realm of possibilities. We just actually saw it happen this year. Right. So.
Yeah, the Raiders are left up in arms. Eric DeCosta just left saying them the rules, and he was just following them to a T.
Exactly.
So some of the things left in the aftermath. So one thing I thought of was, and I didn't even know off the top of my head, but like knowing that a player like Max Crosby is leaving, you likely are bringing in edge rushers, and edge rushers are probably coming in thinking that there will be an opportunity there. They've signed 2 edge rushers. Kwity Paye got a deal, but it looks like they signed 1 edge rusher on a 1-year proven deal. So that's going to be really interesting when you're kind of signing to a team thinking you're going to have this opportunity. And then a player like Max Crosby may be around in your position. So a lot of things going around. Maybe the Raiders are going to have to be left to restructure some things on their end. And they'll have less draft picks than they thought they would have. Any other ones going into these ones? I think we hit the major ones I want to hit with you guys, but I want to make sure
So
your thoughts in.
The only issue I have with Eric DeCosta is he's a repeat offender of this. This is not the first time the Ravens have done this. They backed out of 2 other large free agency deals using a failed physical. And then Justin, you watched it happen this year with Jair Alexander.
Yeah.
They told us everything
cool.
was perfectly fine, and then he medically retires within 10 days of being an Eagle. Yeah. It just they like the Ravens are seen as like such a great organization across the league. And a lot of players have said how great the organization is. But at the end of the day, like this kind of makes you remember that this is a business league and these guys have to make business decisions, and 90% of the time business decisions are bad. They just look bad. But they what you have to do. But
I know, absolutely. Yeah. He did. They did
best for themselves. Go ahead. The Ravens also have a reputation among active players in the league of being a place where the medical staff doesn't really care about you being hurt, which is interesting because in this case, obviously they really do care before they get into bed with somebody. But once you're in bed, like once you're on that team, word on the street, because I've never played there, is that you don't get a lot of help from the medical staff there. And we've seen, you don't have to be a former player to know that the Ravens struggle with injuries.
Yeah.
They lose a lot of players early in the year, late in the year. They get right to it over there. And they don't really care about your current or long-term health. So it's just interesting for me because it's like, on one hand, that's a perfect place to go if you're not fully healthy. But on the other hand, it's like, we don't really want to do it. It makes me a little bit more suspicious. But at the end of the day, like they did what's within their right. It's just like, when you back out of deals like that, people stop wanting to do business with you. Like, when you're a high school kid giving verbal commitments to colleges and you pull the plug on a bunch of them, like eventually those colleges don't really trust you and don't want to do business with you. And I think that's the risk you run. Like by the letter of the law, everything is fine, but there's a way of doing business in the NFL, and the Ravens are pushing the envelope. So I don't think people are very happy about that.
Yeah, no doubt. Tyler mentioned the times before, and then this one was as big as it could get, as high profile of a situation that you could possibly do it on. So the Ravens have changed their minds on bringing in Max Crosby. We're going to take a break from the free agency talk, but another cut in the football world, the NBC has decided to cut Tony Dungy from their Sunday night cast. Tony Dungy has worked there over a decade, over 15 years. Well-known face in football, well-known name, coached one of the greatest quarterbacks to play, coached one of the most exciting Super Bowls. He is no longer on the set. Gotta got to do the news on the show. This is big in the football world. Anybody have any thoughts on this one? It doesn't.
That's
You don't have to.
annoying.
This is
I love
this is
Tony
a
Dungy.
yeah.
Yeah,
love Tony
I don't know. I mean, between Tony Dungy and Jason Garrett, like it is a little bit of like an interesting vibe on Sunday Night Football because they're both like, let me be very clear, they're both great human beings, but they're both really quirky.
Right.
And so like I don't know if this cut is a mutual parting of ways or if it's just like maybe trying to get a different vibe in the building.
Yeah.
Because like I don't know, I've always felt like the pairing of Dungy, Jason Garrett, and the Patriots
Rodney
safety.
Harrison.
Right,
Yeah, it's a weird. It's odd. It's
Yeah.
odd, and NBC has like probably the best coverage in the NFL. But that little halftime / sideline crew is just like a little quirky to me, and it's not the pairing like I would have designed if it were me.
It doesn't match like the other shows like it kind of going on right now, and they also want to get their TikToks out there now too, so they gotta. But there's room for Jack Collinsworth though. There's room for Jack in there in the set always. Moving on to the next one, back to free agency. K9 goes to KC. This was kind of a big one that everybody was keeping their eyes on. The Seahawks GM said that he was awkwardly trying to negotiate his contract at the Super Bowl parade. He doesn't get a deal done in Seattle, but he goes to perennial team, former dynasty, maybe sleeping giant, Kansas City Chiefs. I think we knew kind of that the Kansas City Chiefs would be looking to kind of reignite their run game, especially with the injury that Patrick Mahomes accrued this season. So definitely an aspect that has been shaky in recent years. Their offensive line too, they haven't really gotten that going. So that's still another fix that they'll probably need to supplement this signing. But yeah, big signing here. K9 goes to KC, 43.3 over 3. He's guaranteed just shy of 30 million, about 28, almost 29 million of that. I think, like I said, people were kind of looking for a similar move to happen. Maybe could have been like a Travis Etienne, but they get probably the top dog that everybody was looking for in terms of running backs. Tyler, how you feeling about this signing?
I talked last episode about how this draft class is pretty weak outside RB1. So I never was a big Isaiah Pacheco fan, as Justin would know, but I like this move for them. Gets them an actual threat in the backfield, takes the pressure off Pat, gives him a weapon, helps their offense overall. Andy Reid's always been super successful when he has a good running back, especially like Philly, Brian Dawkins days. Deshaun McCoy goes to KC. They had Kareem Hunt, he was incredible before, his issues. Clyde Edwards-Helaire was good for like a year. And so since then they really haven't had that guy. And now they got that guy and it's a good deal. I believe in paying running backs now. It's going to force defenses to show Pat the looks he wants. They just got to get a wide receiver that isn't 5'10". They need to get a big body receiver on the outside. Give Pat someone to hit the numbers. And I think they'll be good.
No, absolutely. And you saying big wide receiver kind of reminded me of another thing we have to talk about in this segment. But I will send it over to you, Seth. How you feeling about the Chiefs signing a big running back this free agency?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Obviously, they had a ton of need. They also are having a quarterback coming off of injury. I really think though that they need to address their offensive line. I mean, the Kansas City Chiefs would probably have won 4 consecutive Super Bowls if they had a decent offensive line. I mean, it's amazing how good they've been without really good play at the tackle positions. Justin's smiling because, reminds him
good
of
times.
the Eagles. Just
good and bad times. They got us too. They got us too.
Yeah,
barely.
And I just feel
we had
like
the better quarterback in the game. Sorry, son.
it's totally fine. I think we've said it multiple times on the podcast. Like a premier running back is many times only as good as his offensive line. So
Yeah.
if you're going to spend money there, make sure you spend money on the offensive line too. It's like, speaking of the Eagles, it's a problem that the Eagles have been able to fix almost every year, and it's be it the offensive line. And the Chiefs have never gotten it right. For all the things the Chiefs have gotten right, they've not been able to solve that. And I think to make the most of this investment, you better, and to try to protect Pat, for God's sake,
Yeah.
get some tackles too. But I know this segment's about Kenneth Walker. He's a really good player. Get him at the top of his game. Just put some pieces around him. So
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the main things that helps an offensive line is continuity, and they have been just revolving doors, especially in the tackle position there. So definitely, they're probably going to definitely look to solidify something. And gotta get it in while we're talking here. Travis Kelce has announced that he will be returning to the team, so they will have a big receiving option. Sometimes on the outside, they line him up on the outside too. But as Tyler mentioned, they should definitely look to fix that one up. Anything else to get on the K9 and the Kansas City Chiefs?
I think the other part of this deal that's interesting is the fact they traded Trent McDuffie for a first, and they have a first. They have 2 first-round picks now, so they have a top 10 pick for the first time since Pat Mahomes has been on the team. And now you have the 30th pick, right, in the back end of the draft. So they could totally go.
They gotta go tackle or wide receiver, right?
I think at 10 they have to go corner. Like, you have to replace, because you lost both Jalen Watson and McDuffie. So like Mansour Delane or like Caleb Downs would be 2 guys that could be there. But then, and that back end of the draft is probably when like there's gonna be a huge run on tackles. So like they could go, but I'm super high on their O line. I love Josh Simmons.
Kansas City.
Yeah, Josh Simmons.
Who was the guy they got last year?
Josh Simmons from Ohio State.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm super high on him. I think he's gonna be a really good player. They still have Trey Smith, Creed Humphrey. I really like Kingsley Suamata too, their left guard. He's from, pretty sure he played at Yale. I'm pretty sure he transferred from Yale to BYU. Right. Yeah. But then they lose Jawan Taylor, but he was on a day, he was good. Off his day, incredible amount of penalties. It was actually incredible how many penalties he got.
Yeah, I played with Jawan in Jacksonville. I think he's just a little bit over the hill a little bit as far as his athletic career.
Yeah.
And he's not the biggest guy, actually.
Really?
As far as tackles, obviously he's a big guy, but.
Because didn't you play with Greg Robinson too?
I did. Yes.
He's huge. He was massive.
Yeah, big guy. Juwan's not as big. Juwan's not as big as Greg. He's more of an athlete. Like he would wear he would wear like wide receiver cleats. You know what I mean? Like he's not. Yeah, he's not really a big thumper. Like, anyways, good player, but I think he was good more in my era.
Makes sense. Moving on to the next one, big news. Sticking with the K names. Kyler he will be. It looks like the new king of the Vikings. I was gonna try the accent there. I couldn't hype myself up enough to do it, but he is the new king of the Vikings. As it looks like he visited today. I was actually scoured for the news, but the insider here, Tyler, brought it to me. He will be signing with the Minnesota Vikings. He joins the team, obviously, with a fancy, shiny, new number 1 receiver, Justin Jefferson, to work with. Looks like Jordan Addison will likely be sticking around. This one, we were talking about it in our last episode. Looked like Kyler was going to be in a great position just to be handed on a plate to a quarterback needy team. It looks like he won't cost them much, if not a thing. The Cardinals will be paying that man most of his salary this year. And the Vikings get a very nice quarterback in the door. It looks like they might have had to kind of scour and scrape, maybe pull in somebody that doesn't have too big of a name, but they got somebody that we believe in the ability, we believe in the talent. It's just about how it's applied onto the field. Seth, how do you think Kyler will do being introduced into this team, playing under who everybody calls the quarterback guru and the coach that they have over there?
Yeah, I mean, I said 2 weeks ago, like, I don't think it'd be a good idea for Kyler to go to the Browns. I don't think it would be good for the Browns or for Kyler. This is the complete opposite situation. I think this is the absolute best place for Kyler to land. Kevin O'Connell is a rising star in the coaching realms, if not already considered one of the best coaches in the NFL. He played the game. He's young. He's relatable. He's smart. He's innovative. Kyler's going to have to use his words. He's going to have to communicate in the huddle, probably lengthy, multiple plays in one huddle, which is going to be a little bit new for Kyler. But I said this 2 weeks ago as well. Like, if Kyler can learn to do that, to learn to take command, to use his words, to communicate effectively, and have a mentor and a coach like Kevin O'Connell, like, this is great for Vikings fans and for Kyler Murray fans, because this is a situation where if Kyler can't succeed in Minnesota, as talented as Kyler is,
Yeah.
and as good of a position his coach is going to put him in, then it wasn't meant to be. He should go play baseball. But all signs for me point to this being really good for both parties. Excited to see it.
No, absolutely. I mean, Team USA may sign Kyler tonight. It looks like Team USA could definitely use him. Kyler Murray, looks like he's gonna stay under a roof for about half the season again. How do you feel about the Vikings picking him up?
It's a great move by the Vikings. I don't think they should have ever let Darnold walk out that door without a contract. Yeah. You get
always bring that up.
Similar talent level quarterback, different talent, I guess, wise. One's like, mental game, the one's just the freakiest athlete ever to play quarterback. It's exciting. It'll make the Vikings more interesting, definitely. No slight to JJ McCarthy, but like I said earlier, jokingly, like maybe Michigan's looking for a quarterback. Like, I just don't think that's really weird. I don't know. I still don't like that. I don't like that pick to begin with. That was weird. I don't think he was ready. Yeah, I don't think that. Yeah, just didn't make any sense.
Picking him or playing him? Picking him too.
Both.
Well, yeah, obviously playing him, but
yeah,
picking him. Gotcha.
Yeah, I like, because you had Dar. Like, I don't know. I guess they're just like, that's a wash for them. I love Ty Felton, their third receiver, replacing Jalen Naylor. He's from Maryland. I loved him pre-draft, so that will be fun. Vikings are a good team. NFC North, tough division. Tough division.
Yeah.
So I think that's gonna be the hardest part for them. Is like, the Lions look like they're probably going to take a step back, but like the Bears are definitely going to try to take a step forward. The Packers, you lost a decent amount in Sean Mannion and Greg Haley, the DC, but they're obviously always going to be good. So is Kyler going to be the guy that can push this team to 11, 12, 13 wins? Is like, gotta wait and see.
Absolutely. I mean, when you watch some of the games, I'm remembering correctly, it didn't look like they needed the greatest quarterback in the world to get them over the hump. So let's see. Maybe he'll bring exactly. Maybe he'll bring just enough that they're looking for. Kyler to the Vikings. That's gonna be pretty exciting to see for sure. Talking about another quarterback going to a dome team, Tua to the A. Tua has very, very similar situation to Kyler, going over to Atlanta. I love players finding homes. I wanted him to go right over to Atlanta, just right away. I just thought we couldn't wait for him to get a spot, get a team that may need him throughout the season. Dome team fits his style of play. It looks like he'll have the weapons, a good weapon out of the backfield, similar to the setup he had with the Dolphins. Tyler, right back at you. How are you feeling about Tua going to the Falcons?
I said this to you, Justin. That's all I can say is, what's better than one injury-prone left-handed quarterback? Two injury-prone left-handed quarterbacks. Like, I mean, I get it. Like, it's great. He's a vet. It's a good insurance policy, but your insurance policy is insurance policy. You know, like you need you need to you need collision. You need personal liability. You need the whole package from Allstate for this quarterback room right now. But you know, it's the NFL. You got to take a shot. You got to take your shot. You know,
Right.
you just got to, especially when you have no first round pick. You just got to throw the darts at the dartboard. That's it.
Absolutely. And there's just no way. There's just no way that there's not going to be reports that Tua is doing incredible at training camp. No, I'm saying in training. There's no way they're going to say all the reports will be like Tua is looking like he's an MVP. Seth, how you feeling about this move? Tua going to the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, they should probably just sit one of them until week 9 and say, you're going to start the first half of the season, and then we're going to incubate this other person until you go down, and then we're going to activate them for the second half of the season. Honestly, like, it would never happen, obviously, but we can all sit here and agree that that's probably what they should do. Yeah, to be honest, like, it's a good move. It's a good move for Tua, staying in warm weather, staying inside. It's gonna be ideal conditions for Tua to thrive. I think he might thrive a little bit more than Michael Penix, personally. I don't have a ton of reasons for saying that. I think Michael Penix's problems are more with his lower body. Tua's problems are like more with his head and his upper extremities.
Yeah.
I think Michael Penix is going to struggle playing on turf so much. And Tua, I think, plays better on turf. So that's just like the only evidence I have to go on. Obviously, I think they're both really similar in a lot of ways. Obviously, Penix is a way better athlete. But in terms of arm talent, I mean, they remind me of each other mostly because they're lefties, but they're also really, really efficient in the passing game. Accurate.
Comes out quick.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting competition throughout training camp and preseason, because that to me is like a legit competition. In the former situation with JJ McCarthy and Kyler Murray, I don't think JJ McCarthy stands a chance there, to be honest with you. And everybody in that building loves him.
Yeah.
But, like, trust me, dude, when you're throwing passes next to Kyler Murray, it's just, like, people are going to realize real quick they're not the same player. You know what I mean? I'm sorry to switch subjects, but I'm just like, this Atlanta competition is going to be a good one.
Absolutely.
The Vikings, I think it's a foregone conclusion if you ask me, but
yeah, no doubt. We can always go off topics. I do never apologize for that. What you got, Ty?
Falcons wide receiver room is bad. It's real bad. Like, I didn't realize how bad it is.
Dotson, London.
Drake London's legit.
I like him.
Drake London's very good. Outside of that, I'm not sure who they have.
They just signed Dotson.
Limited Zacchaeus.
Zacchaeus.
Yeah, they have the Eagles wide receiver 3 and 4.
Not terrible.
Dotson could have been a 2. Dotson could have been a 2.
They do have Kyle Pitts, but I'm not a big Kyle Pitts guy. But that's neither.
It's got to work out at some point. Got to work out at some point for sure.
Austin Hooper's still in the NFL. Didn't know that. That was fun to find out just now.
Oh no, I was thinking of Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry had a really good start to the year last year.
I love Hunter Henry.
No, he did.
Hunter Henry, Tyler Eifert, those are my guys.
Tyler Eifert, that's a great pull.
I love Tyler Eifert.
Going
I thought he was
back,
so good.
He had good seasons. He did. I mean,
Bengals. Yeah, I'm talking like Hall of Fame. Like, I was convinced Tyler Eifert was gonna be a Hall of Famer. Eric Ebron, I was convinced was gonna be a Hall of Famer.
I mean, both those guys had at least 1 year of really, really great output.
Right.
Yeah. I'm talking like I thought I was like I remember watching like OJ Howard too. Like those three
Oh,
guys,
yeah.
watch them be like, the Eagles need them. Like if the Eagles don't get them, we're screwed. Like they're gonna change the league.
They're gonna run rampant.
Yeah, I fall in love
Maybe.
with tight ends. It's really
I
bad.
haven't been hearing another tight end's name in the draft being brought up, so hopefully he stays quiet and falls. But going to Tua's replacement in Miami, Malik Willis. He was kind of the belle of the ball at the quarterback position. 7 months ago, that wouldn't have not been the case. Nobody really expected that to be the case, but such things happen in the NFL. Malik Willis has gone to the Miami Dolphins. His contract is 67 over 3. He's guaranteed 45 of that. Congratulations, first and foremost, to Malik Willis. He's going to be the starting quarterback for the Dolphins. They're kind of going through an overhaul upstairs with their coaching staff as well. Tyler, what do you expect out of a Malik Willis joining the team? He's going to enter as the franchise QB on the salary books and on the field. How do you feel about that?
If you get the Malik Willis I watched on tape at Liberty, you are getting a very good player. That player did not show up in Tennessee one time. That player showed up a couple times, a little bit in Green Bay. He looks like a much less aggressive passer, much more game manager, Hurt style, take what I can get. If nothing's there, I'm tucking and running. Now, is that Matt LaFleur or is that Malik Willis? And that's the game we had to play when he goes to Miami. Was he a product of Matt LaFleur's coaching, or is this actually the new era of Malik Willis? And I'm excited. I like the Dolphins, except if they trade Achane out, they're screwed. Like he's done. Like that would be so bad. That would be the dumbest thing ever. Genuinely would be the dumbest thing ever.
Get rid of your best weapon.
Yeah, if you get rid of the guy who can take all the pressure off of your quarterback who hasn't started more than I think that I'm seeing 6 games in his career. Yeah, like if you take away the one guy who can take all the pressure off of him, that would be dumb. That would be dumb.
And it seems like that's why they made those changes upstairs. So hopefully stuff like that that won't happen. Seth, what are your thoughts on Malik Willis? He's getting his shot to be the starter on an NFL team.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly an honor for Malik to be the first quarterback domino to fall this year in free agency. It's an honor for any quarterback in any year. Like you, Justin, we wouldn't have expected this coming into last year.
Yeah.
But, first thing Monday, we hear, Malik is going to the Dolphins. And super happy for the guy. I think the fact that this was done so quickly and the fact that both the current first-year GM and head coach of the Miami Dolphins are from Green Bay makes me feel like they've seen obviously more than 6 games of tape of Malik Willis. They've seen him in practice. They've seen him in the building. It seems like they've got a ton of confidence in
good vibes.
What this kid's going to be. Any other team would have been taking like a 6-game flyer on Malik. But him going to the Dolphins feels like they targeted him from day one. And all this interview crap at the combine with the Dolphins being like, oh, we might keep Tua was probably just lip service. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think the moment that pair went to Green Bay, I think they were wanting to bring Malik Willis with them the whole time. And they were just able to announce it Monday morning. So, I have a lot of expectation for him to do well. And, I've followed his journey, since he entered the league, mostly because, well, I guess for 2 reasons. Him and I share the same agent, and also he went to one of my brother's alma maters at Liberty University. He was expected to be a first-round draft pick, and that was his expectation. That was my agent's expectation. He fell to the 4th round pretty quietly in whatever draft that was, I don't remember what it was. But I've said this a couple of times, and no player entering the draft wants to hear this or entering the NFL. But the truth is, if you're validated with a first round draft pick or whatever your expectation is, if your expectation is validated by the NFL, if you're given something, which like you are granted many, many more opportunities the higher you're selected in the NFL, it's just fact, right? If your expectation is granted, I've seen it time and time again, players not putting in the same work that they otherwise would have if their expectations were not met. Malik came in with a big blow to his confidence into the NFL.
Being drafted by the Titans.
And much, much later, he was probably taking out loans against the money he was about to come into, and went from millions of dollars to hundreds of thousands of dollars, which is still a good money, but it's a whole order of magnitude different.
Absolutely.
Like there's a humbling that took place, a scratching and clawing that took place. And I've seen this too many times not to put the pieces together where it's like, you know what? It didn't work out for you right away, but these things are blessings in disguise where they cause you to realize that no day is guaranteed. Nothing is given to you in this league. As a fourth round draft pick, you got to earn it every day. You got to put the work in. And he's seeing kind of the seeds that he's sown way back then start to come to fruition, and all the work starting to pay off. I think he's a good player. I think he's got a bright future ahead in Miami. So good for Malik.
No doubt. Go ahead, Ty.
I was just saying, I'm a little worried about that coaching staff. Actually, it's Bobby Slowick and Kevin Patullo. So, it's the
Patullo's back in his role, though. He's back in his role. He could
I'm
in
saying
that
it's
role.
not Packers guys. Like you would have thought the Packers defensive coordinator could bring some
What
guys
Phil
that
did it.
he's familiar with, and it's just like it's learning a whole new like thing because it's Slowick who did a good job with CJ Stroud his first year, and I don't think he should have fired second year, but he did. And then Kevin Patullo back as passing game coordinator where he probably belongs, probably best suited for him there. But it's gonna be interesting to see him with a whole new staff. I when I looked it up, I forgot that Slowick was it. I thought they brought in a Packers guy, but we have the Packers guy.
We got the Packers guy.
We
They probably would have gone him if we didn't. Yeah, I was about to say they probably would have gone him if we didn't.
Sorry, Malik. Jalen needs him.
I had one more. I know we did need him. Malik Willis. I had one more thing on it, but we're gonna keep it pushing. Going on Indiana Jones. The conversation with the Colts. We were talking about that transition tag that was slapped on Indiana Jones. They couldn't get the deal done. Now they have come to an agreement. Daniel Jones will go back to the Indiana Colts for $88 million over 2. This deal could go up to $100 million if he plays amazingly well. I don't know the stipulations. $50 million of it is guaranteed. I think there was talks about them. Maybe they would be the team kind of in the Kyler Murray conversation. Who knows? But they've elected to keep Daniel Jones, keep him rehabbing, keep him in house. And the last words out of his mouth is he's gearing up to come back week 1, but they will see how that works out. Tyler, Daniel Jones comes back. He gets another weapon signed with him. $100 million receiver. Let's zoom this thing out. What are your expectations for the Colts next year? Do you think they're gonna kick off right where they kind of left off, where Daniel Jones had them kind of eight games up on the back end of going into the back end of the season, or is it kind of going to be that kind of we're going to continue with the downtrend where we traded away our picks and it kind of everybody got hurt?
You paid $200 million for 2 players. You have to win your division. Like they have to win the AFC South. Like that minimum, you have to win the AFC South. Like you have to win a wild card game too, because you're right. They traded away 2 first round picks for Sauce. You got a lot. You got a lot on the line now. You have to win your division. You have to win a playoff game. You have to show that it's not even a fluke this year thing. Like you have to show that this is our team. This team's good. This is what we can build upon. We have a very strong foundation, and next year we can gear up even more and come back even better. Like this, it's like when you pay people that much of your cap, you have to win. Like all the pressure's now on Shane Steichen, on that GM, on Daniel Jones. You have to win. It's time to win.
Well, are they Bolivar's? That is the question. Are they the Bolivar's? Seth, how do you feel about Daniel Jones going back to the Colts and getting paid to play quarterback?
Yeah, I've said for multiple weeks now, I think that this is the right decision for both parties. I expect the Colts to be good next year. I think the question this time of year is like, at what price did you make the deal for? Seems like Daniel Jones and his camp have been very good throughout his career of getting him the money that he deserves, maybe. You could argue that point, whether he's deserving of it or not, but he's certainly an NFL quarterback. He's certainly very talented. He's not talented enough to overcome bad coaching. We've seen that. There's probably only a few quarterbacks that are. In 2 years at a $50 million average salary sounds like a lot, but it's partially because the cap goes up so fast in the NFL every year. It was 5 years ago now that Patrick Mahomes signed a 10-year, $500 million contract, which is not making him the highest annual earner of quarterbacks anymore. You know what I mean? I'm just looking at the numbers now, like $50 million a year puts you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11th in the league, right? It puts you between Jalen Hurts and Deshaun Watson.
Go.
So the people that are above 50 or people that are above Jalen Hurts, which is at 51, is Lamar, Justin Herbert, Brock Purdy, Jared Goff, Trevor Lawrence, Jordan Love, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and Dak Prescott at $60 million.
Dakota.
Yeah, and some of those are going to be swapped out and up out of that list soon too.
Yeah, sure. Patrick Mahomes, by the way, is 12th at $45 million per year. So, when you contextualize this, the biggest takeaway is that Patrick Mahomes isn't paid enough. Really, if you take Patrick Mahomes off of this list, it makes Daniel Jones look, a little bit better. And, actually, Daniel Jones is listed here at 13th at 44. So I guess he's probably making closer to 60 next year. But it seems right to me in terms of where he's at. And so, again, the housing market analogy comes into play here. Like, what are the comps of this house in this region? That's how largely a house gets priced, right? I can spend $500,000 on a crappy, crumbling foundation house in New York City or northern New Jersey because of the area and because of the comps, right? I can also take that $500,000, go down to Texas and live like a king, right? Yeah. So it's not really about the quality of the house. It's about the comps, right? That's what the market dictates that Daniel Jones gets $50 million a year. Yeah. Sounds like a lot, but I think it's right. So I think the Colts made the right decision. Good for all the NFL players for taking advantage of the most lucrative, most popular business in the world. So not most lucrative, but certainly most popular.
No doubt. And I think these GMs quickly will fall into a trend and fall into shape. The last guy to let their kind of quarterback leave the room, they won a Super Bowl on the other team. So kind of that's also a vibe going around. That GM got fired. So teams aren't going to be too willing to let able quarterbacks go out the door. Especially if they can move a little bit like Daniel Jones can.
Absolutely.
That ends our free agency wrap up. Amazing job, guys. Amazing job. We gotta go into the most important section of them all. Gotta talk about the Birds. So it was eventful for the better, for the worse. I just call it a free agency period for us. I think we're gonna get the good news and the congratulations out of the way. I'll run through these first two names rather quickly. We'll probably want to talk through the third name a little bit more, but congratulations to Grant Calcaterra. Congratulations to Braden Mann. Braden Mann signed a $14 million over 4, and he's getting $7 million of that no matter what happens. So congratulations to that punter. My offspring one day will be punting no matter what, just to see what we got there. Jordan Davis, congratulations, huge congratulations to the big guy. $78 million over 3 years, guaranteed. We're pretty much giving it all to him. We might as well just give it all to him up front. He has $65 million of that guarantee going to him. So we signed one of our notable defensive tackles. A lot of conversations going around the other ones. We'll stop right there for a second. Tyler, how are you feeling about the Jordan Davis signing, and did it bring any worry to how that may impact any other decisions for you?
Quick note: Braden Mann, that's the largest contract Howie Roseman's ever given to a punter.
Wait! I lost you.
Yeah, that was actually big. I didn't think they were going to re-sign him to that big of a deal. I thought they were just going to give him like a 1-year deal. Really excited about that. I love Braden Mann. I hate Aaron Sepos. Jordan Davis, it's a tough contract. It's definitely elite run defender. He's always been elite run defender. Got better in the pass rush this year. But you still, paying a guy that much money, you still need one more year. And does Jordan Davis have that next year? Probably, because he's a freak. And they're betting on that. Might be crazy. Would rather have Milton Williams. Probably. It's a lot of money because you still have to pay Jalen Carter, and if you're paying Jordan Davis that much, can't imagine how Jalen Carter's agent's going to walk in there and say, "Okay, double it," or that's a lot to begin with. You're going to have $50-60 million locked up in your defensive tackles, and one of them is just a premier run stopper. Again, I love Jordan Davis. Eagles fans love Jordan Davis, but I think sometimes in our fandom he becomes a little bit overrated in terms of 3-down impact, and you're paying him as if he has 3-down impact.
That's the thing for me. I think that would be the point for me.
That's what I'm it's just the pass rush is just not it's there. You can see it. You get glimpses, and you're like, ooh, it's there. I can see it. Jordan, do it more, but it's that consistency that separates a Chris Jones from a Jordan Davis, Yeah.
No, absolutely. I think one thing I do I do generally trust when we depart with a large sum of money, we usually are confident in what we are getting. So that does put me at ease. And I think what evidence kind of makes me feel good about that is Jordan Davis has consistently improved each year.
Yeah.
We've seen that go up. So I think them making this decision now is a sign of their confidence of that to continue happening. I also am assuming that they are also confident in our ability to sign around that. I think we'll get into it soon, but the players that we let go also kind of gives me signs that we are going to try to keep all those big names together. But yeah, I think you bring up a great point. I think the kind of con that I would say to paying this amount of money is you probably would be looking for more 3-down impact from that kind of player. I think his snaps have increased year over year, so maybe he's going to play a lot more this year. Maybe that's also another aspect of it. I think the pay also usually will come with an increase of snaps and usage. But yeah, I think you brought up some great points there. Overall, my opinion is I just going to trust that usually we pay what we know we're going to get. So I think we're gonna get something good. Seth, I know you're not an Eagles fan yourself, but you were there on the night. We were all together.
Jordan Davis,
Jordan Davis was drafted. AJ Brown became an Eagle crazy night. Do you have any opinions on this kind of move, the player, anything to do with this?
What was his price tag?
Do you remember?
3
78
years,
over
78, 66 guarantees,
65.
something like that.
Yeah, 66 probably.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's a lot. But yeah, I mean, I think it's generally awesome for the Eagles. It's awesome for Jordan Davis. There's something about just being bigger than everybody else that is innate to
Yeah.
playing football.
Mhm.
Calais Campbell has played in the NFL for so long for a reason. Calais Campbell
Yeah.
is huge. Jordan Davis, by the way, is bigger than Calais Campbell. And Calais Campbell is like really, really big. I mean, I've told Justin this before, but like, you know, I'm a pretty big person. I'm pretty athletic, I'm pretty strong. I can block somebody like Calais Campbell, but they can just like put their arm out while I'm blocking them and make the tackle because they're that big. And that has happened to me before. It's pretty demoralizing when you realize there's nothing you can do, right? So is Calais Campbell the most skilled NFL player? No. Does he take the best care of his body? Not even. He just is so big that he doesn't have to expend all the energy that everybody else does all the time. I just think that Jordan Davis was born to play football. Does he have some developing to do? Yes. But you get guys like that on your team and you keep him on your team. He's the ideal guy to be on your defensive line. I think it's good for the Eagles to keep him, and I think you pay what it takes to get him. So that's my quick opinion.
Yeah, no doubt. I've been blessed through knowing Seth to be able to meet some people. Calais was one of them, and actually like he walked by, I think I felt like wind, like actual like like literal, like in like the light that was behind him, just like it actually like in talk about an imposing figure. Like I didn't get to shake his hand or anything, but like his hands, I'm sure it would have like covered my entire arm. Like
yeah, he's a big
just
boy.
a walking ball of like cartilage, just like going through. It's absolutely it's nuts to see some of these humans. But yeah, not too many, but that is one that I have a legend that I have been able to see with my own two eyes. But getting into it, Jordan Davis signed, got the congratulations out of the way. Obviously, some football questions that we had to bring up now. Looks like he'll have 3 years and $78 million to answer them. Like I mentioned, we did lose quite a few players. Some expected, some maybe Eagles fans had some hope that we'd be able to hold on to. I'll go through the list of lost players. I'll quickly go through the I don't want to say the ones who've played less games for us at a lesser prestige, maybe. So Sam Howell, Matt Pryor, Joshua Uche. I actually hung my hat on Joshua Uche maybe being somebody that we would resign this year, but he didn't bring it as I expected last year. Azeez Ojulari, and then the big names. Jalen Phillips goes to the Panthers for $129 million over 4 years. He's getting $80 million of that guaranteed. Reed Blankenship becomes a Texan. I'm happy for him. I think he liked Texas a lot. He goes to the Texans, 24.7 over 3 years, 16 million of that guaranteed. This contract, I am so excited for this player. Nakobe Dean gets 36 million over 3 years, 12 million of that is guaranteed. Jahan Dotson, I'm also excited about this one. Gets to prove and with a little more playing time. 15 million over 2 years, 10 million. He could even make 17 if he does what he has to do on the year. Tyler, I'm gonna start with you since we're talking about the Eagles. The loss on Jalen Phillips, expected, probably need replacements. That safety is a big need for us. We kind of knew we weren't going to be able to sign. What are some of the needs that kind of walked out of the door and now they've really become like just utter gaps in our team?
I mean, I've talked to you about length. I was good on Jalen Phillips, really good
You're right.
player, but the
Expected.
injury history, that's scary. 2 ACLs and an Achilles, that's not something you could ignore at that position. Someone had made this comparison about Jalen Phillips. He wins, but he doesn't.
He might not
win.
get the stat.
not only that, but he doesn't wing quick enough to where you're like, oh, like a Von Miller, where you're like in a flash, he's in the backfield, or like a Myles Garrett or Max Crosby. It's like he wins, but it's like a half second slower than those guys, and so it always leaves you wanting a little bit more. And like I always got frustrated by that. $30 million for him is crazy. That is the NFL edge rusher money is ludicrous. I think that is like safety is still my biggest need, especially in what Nick Fangio likes to do. They need a deep safety that's smart, and those aren't many. Those don't grow on trees. I think Makuba's good, but he was a rookie.
I think he's good too.
Yeah, but like I don't know what his like ceiling really is because like tackling wise, he was pretty bad. He got a few busts of coverage, but like a rookie. So like. If Vic likes him, I like him, honestly.
He did some cool things too, but also those bad things. Yeah.
I was so surprised they didn't match that Reed contract. That's not bad. Like $8 million, that's not bad at all. I'm shocked.
That's why I said earlier about like some of the decisions we making made me think like maybe we're really trying to like just really haul what we can in terms of space and money.
I'm shocked they didn't match $8 million for Reed.
Right.
Matt Pryor, I'm really shocked left. He's been a mainstay on that O line as a backup. I
think we lost Toth too. Toth as well.
Toth,
Toth.
Yeah, those two guys. I was really shocked by that. Nakobe. I'm so happy for him that he's going to, number one, said no to the Cowboys. Legend.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he's teaming up with Quay Walker again, who he was teammates with at Georgia, and they were part of that insane national championship defense.
Yeah.
Like you remember that? I'm pretty sure in that clip,
he's the guy he was yelling at.
Yes, that's Quay Walker. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that is. Yeah,
that was Quay Walker. So that's gonna be sick for him. I'm so happy for him. I am now terrified about this though because he came out today. Jihad Campbell basically is like degenerative shoulders, so that we're screwed there, I guess.
Maybe we'll pick one up.
Yeah, I don't know. Jeremiah Trotter, that's good depth. But yeah, edge rusher is definitely a need. Even if they signed Jalen Phillips, I'd still call it a need. And they just Jonathan Grenard and Josh Sweat, like we've talked about this at length. I want Jonathan Grenard.
Yeah.
So bad. I think he's such a good player. He would be awesome. Josh Sweat obviously knows the system. He would be awesome. Two guys that you don't have to pay $30 million to get you 5 sacks. So,
absolutely, and players gotta throw out some players that are still out there, likely to walk. Dallas Goedert being one, Adoree Jackson being the other. Go ahead, Ty. What you got?
Goddard's probably back. They extended his void days to Friday.
Is he gonna go? Gotcha. So you think we're gonna bring him back?
I can see Goddard back on a 1-2 year deal with like heavy incentives.
Especially getting rid of what we got rid of.
Yeah, I'm terrified they're just gonna draft a tackle in the first round. That would actually piss me off so much. Like I'd be so upset.
I do want to get Seth in on here, so I'm gonna get our signings out of the way real quick. We've signed Riq Woolen. This was pretty cool. I think people do worry about his temperament on the field, but he can play ball. Riq Woolen, $12 million over just for the year, could be $15 million. And then we also signed Johnny Munt, the tight end from Jaguars, and then Jonathan Jones. What do you got? What do you got on Munt?
Huge blocking tight end. That dude can block a tree. That's a big boy. I like him a lot. I was really happy about that because after having to watch Calcaterra.
Well, you're watching Calcaterra too. You have to watch him too. Don't worry.
Don't talk about that. I don't want to. I literally I'm getting flashbacks right now of them asking Grant Calcaterra to wham block in the A gap and him getting just running past guys. That made me so angry.
He's to be getting his year extended. He had a tough outing in college.
I don't know.
He was supposed to be one of the best tight ends to come out. He dealt with concussions throughout, and he's made it to the league. I think he dealt with a few here, but he's getting another contract. I think that's good. But yeah, it's our tight end room is looking rough. Seth, any things? I know we kind of got through our Eagles rant there on our own, but Jalen Phillips. I don't know if you're familiar with that player. If you like him, going to the Panthers for $130 million. Reed leaving. Any of these signings or departures catching your eye? Former Super Bowl winning tight cornerback coming over our way.
Yeah, that's good because it seems like your Eagles are departing a lot of defensive players, a couple of linebackers, edge rushers, safety. But yeah, it's going to be a different defense next year for you guys, which you know you've kind of had some staples on that defense, mostly from the Georgia Bulldogs over the last couple of seasons. But no, listen, I mean, to Tyler's point, some of these prices are really insane. I mean, this is always a crazy time of year for me, just like seeing players. I mean, this is the time of year where players get usually overpaid. You know what I mean? There's different stratospheres to this. There's like the millions of dollars in the 30s, 40s, millions of dollars. Then there's even just like the $7, the $8, the $9 million for like players that I ran circles around. You know what I mean? It's just like crazy time of year for somebody like me who has been here and didn't necessarily see some of these numbers, but this doesn't need to turn into a Seth DeValve sob story of a podcast.
Not at all. Not at all.
I'm 5 years post football now, and so it doesn't bother me like it used to. But the first couple of years post my career, it's like you got to be freaking kidding me with these numbers.
I was mad for you. Don't worry, Seth. Don't even worry about it.
The one thing to keep in mind here, having just been through free agency one time, is like, even though these things don't become official until Wednesday, 4 p.m., like free agency is very much a 3-day process. It's a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday process. And this is partially why, we opened the show with the Raiders. The Raiders probably got screwed this week because it's very much we have our day one guys, our Monday guys that we're either letting leave and receiving some sort of compensation, or we're signing these guys. And it's like a waterfall. It's like capitalism at its finest. Like literally you've got your day one priority guys, your day two priority guys, your day three priority guys. I was a day 3 guy in free agency, right? What that means is you're expecting a certain number because you've been negotiating that with your agent and the GM during the tampering period, right? What ends up happening is all the day one guys squeeze a little bit more out of the team than the team really wanted to give. And so that affects the offers to the day 2 guys. The day 2 guys squeeze a little bit more out of the team than the team was really willing to want to do. And then by the time it gets to day 3 guys, it's like, I know we talked about this number, but like, Teddy Bridgewater took a little bit more money than we were hoping, or this guy took a little bit more money. Jalen Phillips took a little bit more money than we were expecting. So now we got to offer you this number. It's just a crazy time for active players. All these guys are very deserving of all these numbers. It's just a really good reminder that, especially in football, it takes a village, right? And these guys like Patrick Mahomes, who are clearly probably still one of the best players in the entire league, who's sitting at 14th in annual QB salary. Tom Brady did it for years.
Yeah.
Like, roster construction in many cases requires sacrifice of the guys who can make the most money, who have the most leverage over the organization. Yes, about like freeing up some space to bring in more pieces of the puzzle that's going to eventually get you to where you want to go. And in the NFL, it's just very, very rare because you can have 2 ACLs and an Achilles in a very short amount of time, and your career can be over, right? So you kind of take what you can get. I'm very, very happy for all these guys. And yeah, hoping your Birds defense can put some stops together next year.
Yeah, no doubt. We're one of those teams. Our quarterback's getting paid, but he left us a little something on the table where people still want to hate on him for it, but people like, I don't know. Kirk Cousins will be like, bring me the house. I don't care what we got going on. I don't care what our record is. I'm making mines, and you guys are gonna deal with it on the back end. But we can keep it pushing. Oh, we got our last section. We got our pick 6 coming up featuring Asante Samuel. He's nowhere near on the top leaderboards of pick 6. He's like 20th in pick 6s, but this picture is so cool. Like, this is dope. Pick 6 coming up. Okay, so today, in the spirit of free agency, I first put out there we should do 2 things that we both regretted buying. Tyler in his positive spirit, which I so appreciate. He says we should say something we like buying and something we don't like buying. So I appreciate Tyler adding that positivity. So that is exactly what we are going to do. Tyler, I'm gonna kick it off to you. Let's start it with the I feel like negative is gonna be more fun. So let's start it with something you're happy that you bought.
Happy,
yeah.
So my absolute favorite thing, it's something I buy every month. Technically, it is my YouTube Premium subscription. It 100% changed my life. If I see a YouTube video now with an ad, I freak out. Like, it's like I go feral. I'm like, no, get this out of my face. Like, this is horrible. It is the greatest subscription you can have. It eliminates all ads. It also gives you YouTube Music, which I don't think people realize. And YouTube Music rocks. It's amazing.
I actually never thought about using that.
Yeah. So you get $13 a month, you get YouTube Premium, and you get YouTube Music. I watch all my podcasts on my iPad at work. And so now when I pause my podcast, it goes right into my phone. So I go to YouTube Music, I click play, and I don't have to listen. It'll pull the video version where I am in the audio version. So I can continue to listen to it.
Wait, do you not automatically get YouTube Premium if you have YouTube TV?
No, they're different.
That's cool. That's crazy of them. That is crazy.
Right? Well, it's Google, man.
That's absolutely nuts.
They're stealing your data and taking your money. Doesn't make
absolutely. Oh my goodness!
Shout out to YouTube for sponsoring today's video.
Yeah, shout out to Ring Doorbell, finding your dogs and mapping your apartment as well. Oh my goodness, Seth, what's a purchase that you're really happy you got?
This is a bit of a recurring purchase as well, but I've gone on record saying recently that there's certain food experiences that I will pay any amount of money for.
Oh,
like also on the flip side, there's nothing I hate more than feeling like I got robbed when the food experience wasn't good and I paid a lot of money.
That sucks.
Hate that. Sucks. Absolutely hate it.
I feel bad if I spent $15 and I hate it.
Yeah. But shout out to Bark Barbecue for being the sponsor of today's video.
Oh my goodness, Seth.
I think one time I spent $400 on a couple of beef ribs at Bark Barbecue, and I never looked back. I was so happy about it.
That is a great answer, Seth.
Don't regret it for 1 second. I don't regret it. It's probably my favorite thing to eat right now. I don't remember why it came to 400, but I did some damage and I was really happy about it. So
oh, my goodness. That is a really good one. Okay. My purchase.
Wait, is it cooked? Did you buy cooked $400 worth of beef?
Yeah, they come all ready to go. Yeah.
Oh shit. I was gonna say I've spent a lot of money on meat that I cook myself. Like I have
Yeah.
I go to this place called Wild Fork. It's a premium meat market, and I can only go like a couple months once every couple months because I will spend like $120 there easily.
Yeah, I have tried cooking beef ribs before. It's tough.
It is tough.
It's not complicated. It's tough to get right.
Yeah.
And this place does it flawlessly, perfect, chef's kiss every time. Pork ribs, I can say, are a lot easier to do, and I do myself quite a bit. But I never get a good beef rib unless I buy it from Bark Barbecue. So, yeah.
Man,
Anyways.
you guys were so much more creative than I was. So I'm gonna go quickly. Mine was the laptop I'm using right now. It's been lasting me 10 years. It's lasted me 10 years. And when I bought it, like it was such a big purchase. It was like a Mac. It was like a plus like $500-$700 purchase. So it was like one of my first big boy purchases at the time. And I was nervous about it because I thought it would break right away or I wouldn't be able to use it. But 10 years going strong with this thing. So it's one of my very good use purchases. So
It's a long time for a laptop.
yeah, no, absolutely. Especially since I was buying a Mac, like I was assuming like it was built to like only last like 3-4 years and like stuff would start like breaking and like I would have to go re-up, but it's been doing good for me. Tyler, the purchase you regret.
This is kind of similarly
Why are you
to
talking
what
about mine?
Seth's, but open bar tabs when I go out and telling people they can throw a drink on my tab. That has gotten me into a lot of trouble.
That's tough.
Because it's usually not a person that would ever be in a place to ever return the favor. Most notably, spring break.
I thought you were gonna shout out one of your friends.
No, my friends usually are pretty good about getting me back. Spring break 2022, I paid a $500 bar tab at a bar called Senior Frogs in Myrtle Beach because we were ordering trays of shots for absolutely no reason other than we just got off an airplane and we were seniors in college.
As y'all do, as you must.
Yeah, it was that's the only one I could come up with. I don't regret many things because when I make a purchase,
no, especially as a senior in college. Absolutely.
That was bad. That was dumb. That was dumb. I would much rather myself spend money on something else.
And I'm sure as the night goes, the people you normally say, maybe not, you just say yes, go ahead too. You know.
Oh, they were total strangers. Never saw them again.
I get it.
It was such a bad idea.
It's tough. You live and you learn. That's a good.
I don't learn
lesson,
though. That's the issue.
Well, maybe we'll be learning. We'll be learning, or find where Tyler drinks and go there.
That's a better thing. Yeah, find where I go to drink. Now it's my home.
Seth, the purchase that you regret.
Yeah, I've been trying to think about what direction to go with this because I have several. It's probably not a shock to our listeners, but I used to make more money than most people in their 20s made. And I have some regrets, I have. Yeah, thank you.
Applause to you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks
for the round of applause. I don't have big mistakes like a lot of young professional athletes have. I don't have a lot of big mistakes. Thank you. But I'll tell you a story that I think is probably pretty funny. The car that me and Erica currently drive, Justin's been in it many times. It's actually a car that I hate, right? I do not like this Jeep Compass. When we moved to New Jersey, where they make you pay for parking, we downsized from 2 cars to 1 car. We kept the car Erica liked, because that's what you do when you're married. But anyways, when we bought this car in 2020 when we lived in North Carolina. I was currently an NFL free agent. When you play in the NFL, especially when you go to like buy a car or whatever, you typically don't volunteer information about what you do. So I walk into the car dealership, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, where you buy any of those maker models. We ended up getting a Jeep. I was like, hey, I want to lease a car today. Because back then I was leasing cars. And they're like, all right, great. What do you do for work? I was like, oh, currently I'm unemployed. That was my answer. Because it was true, right? I could have said I worked for the NFL, which actually would have been a lie because I don't. I could have said I was an NFL player, but that's information I typically don't lead with. I said, I'm unemployed. And they're like, we can't lease a car to somebody who's unemployed. And I was like, all right, well, what if we don't finance it and we just do a one-time payment for the lease? I was like, can you run that quote for me? And the guy's like, sure, I'll run you the quote. He brought me the quote, and he's obviously like not very respectful of me at this point because I just told him I'm unemployed, and he's not paying a lot of respect to me.
Yeah.
I'm not an expert on economics of used or leased or new or leased cars, but like I was essentially going to pay half of the car's value to drive it for the first 2 years of its life. It's a little bit expensive, but for Jeeps, I guess that's kind of like ballpark. And he was like, I talked to my manager, this would be the only option because we're, not going to run your credit when you don't have a job. And I was like, you know what? I changed my mind. I'm just going to buy the car. That's what I told the guy because I was tired of him disrespecting me. And I was like, yeah, I'll write a check for it today. I would like to take it with me.
Back there, see what it tells you.
Yes. It's like, see if this check clears. So we walked out of that dealership that day with a new car that we owned outright. We've owned it ever since. It is a Jeep Compass Trailhawk. Shout out to Jeep for not sponsoring today's video.
Yes.
I've learned since then, you don't buy a Jeep unless you're buying a Wrangler or a Grand Cherokee. A Grand Cherokee.
Grand Cherokee. Yes. Gotcha.
They're Cherokees, Compasses, Patriots, Renegades. They're afterthought, throwaway models just to compete with other brands. Like, I'd love to have a different car right now, but I kind of bought it out of spite, and I thought it would be a good football crossover story. So that's my answer for today's Pick Six.
No, absolutely. That is an incredible answer. Probably that definitely best one for the bad purchases. Don't get a Jeep Compass. More of the story. We loved our Honda Accord though. The Honda Accord was great.
Yeah, the Honda was
sweet. I do remember you loved that one.
Yeah.
All right. Last but not least, so I had a little run with like TikTok shop purchases. That actually I'm the rare case where they actually were kind of good. I bought I almost said toilet bowl. It wasn't toilet bowl. It was a shower tub cleaner. An electric one that actually worked quite well for me. I was a little nervous about that one. But this one I bought. So this is an ear cleaner with a camera on it. And I bought it because the price was good. And I was like, you're not supposed to use the Q-tips anymore, like because they shove the. So I bought this and I quickly found out that I was way too scared to use it. I'm far too scared. After using it once, I was like, this thing gets in there really easy. And I don't think there's a whole lot of stopping me from going too far. So I bought it. It has a light. It's not going to turn on because it's dead. I used it once. It's already like, I actually got it. Also, I somehow managed to connect it to my phone. The instructions were only in, I believe it was Mandarin. I could be wrong. So I don't want to just shout out because I saw characters, but I believe it was Mandarin. And I had to like kind of just click the buttons I thought were the right buttons in the app to get me there. I got it set up. I used it once, but I was way too scared after using it. So bad purchase. Bad purchase. Yeah, no, I also almost brought up something else up here, but then I realized that thing was a gift. So I'm gonna leave.
I have that issue.
I forgot that it wasn't a purchase by me. So
yeah, all my regret things. I'm like, oh, I regret asking for that.
Yeah,
but like that's like you can't like what am I like what it's
yeah.
what do you mean? I regret asking for that.
I know
Like,
that's
I
different. That's
just
just
want
somebody
to
blessing
win.
you with something.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh yeah, I really don't use that now, do I? Sorry,
Oh
DJ
my
Bull.
goodness. Well, that your D. I know, Ty. You should keep up with it. Get back into it,
Dude.
bro.
The life is too busy to DJ.
Like I retweet that one. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to get to these, but that I think we can definitely put there. We can call it game with that one. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Tell somebody that you love them. Oh, I forgot to tell you. I was like looking when you guys were talking. Both you guys' hair looking great today. I was like, Tyler's hair looking really good, and then I looked at Seth. I was like, Seth's hair looking really good. Yeah, you guys, the hair was
You
looking
too,
great today.
Justin.
So I
Your hair looks
appreciate
good, too.
Thank you. So remember, everybody, like, comment, subscribe, tell them that you like the hair, tell them that you love them. That is episode 72 of Fan Therapy wrapped up. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.